Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to the farm. We're out in the barn getting in trouble today. And when we went and pulled the quill out of the parts washer, I found cracks. Now this is the part that goes on to the axle hub, and this is what holds it into the final drive. And it's got bearings and oil seals and stuff in it. But down inside of here, there's several cracks. So I'm gonna have to go and get this replaced. And I'm really disappointed. But better to replace it now than have it fail out in the pasture somewhere, and I would have hell getting it back up to the barn to fix it. So yeah, let me see if I can rig up the lights and the camera and see if I can actually show you these cracks. Here we've got the quill, and I got a little flashlight, and I'm going to use the end of a file, but right in there you can see a crack, and that crack goes all the way up the wall of the bearing cup and on the outside. And then there's another crack right there. You can't see it because of the shadow. Maybe that'll help. There we go. That crack right there. And that crack goes all the way up the side of this bearing cup, and it's actually on the outside. And it may be hard for you to see, but there's a crack. There's a crack. Those cracks go all the way through, from the outside all the way to the inside. And since it's got two cracks here and it's got a bolt here, this stress in this area, you know, if I go and start getting a little feisty with the bulldozer, I'm able to just break that loose. So I think it's time to go and call up Lavoy over at jdcrawlers.com, see if he can turn me on to one. I can probably get one off of eBay, but I want somebody that knows what they're doing to actually go and inspect it and make sure the new one doesn't have any cracks before I end up with one off of eBay that I can't return. One more thing to fix, right? Better now than later. You know, this is the axle hub that I've got to go and mess with today. And it's in good shape. I've gone and looked over it real carefully to make sure that there's no cracks or anything in there. The only thing I'm really worried about is right in this spot we've got a bunch of rust, and that's where the oil seal rides, and that rust will do nothing but just shred that little oil seal. And so I'm going to have to go and carefully go and try to remove the rust off of that, as well as clean all of this paint off, get this cleaned up. And where the bearing rides, I mean, yeah, it's definitely got some wear, but at least that wear is smooth. It's not pitted. It's not something that's going to chew up the bearings, I don't think. The rust where that oil seal goes is my big worry. That, and on the back side of it, this area here is really rusty, and this is where it got stuck to the big yellow sprocket. So we'll clean that up, rust treat it so it won't rust again, and we won't have that issue again, I hope. I hope. You can probably see it's got texture. We don't want texture there. So as the rain is coming down outside, I think it's time to go close the doors and get to work. Yeah, I'm not getting in tight enough with that. I'm gonna have to get a different drill. Well, now that we've gone and cleaned all that up, burnished all the crud off of it, you know what's coming next, right? Permatex. You knew it was coming. Well, got everything cleaned up down here. I got where the oil seal rides nice and smooth, got all the rust and crud off of it, and I can run my finger across it and I don't really feel any striation, so that's a good thing. So now we're going to hit it with some of this stuff. And of course we have to get the face. Now we get to let it sit for a bit. And now we're coming back for the second coat. As you may imagine, see, it's turning black. And let it sit for a bit. And here we are for the third coat. Everything that was rusty iron is now totally black, and the steel is black too. That face is pretty much turned all black. There we go. Now we got to let that sit for 24 hours, let the chemical reaction do its thing, and it'll be ready for paint and then reassembly. Well, thanks for coming out and hanging out with me on the farm today and getting a couple of things done. I got to sit and let this do its thing. So I'm going to go take a break. It's still raining outside, some high winds that blew through, and time to go see what Mrs. P is up to. Go check on her in the guest house. Thanks for watching, and come back and see us. We'll get in a little bit more trouble in the barn in the next episode.